Hello everyone, I'm Rec5,
And I am Sandman99.
and welcome back to the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition with Winterfrost.
Yes. And in the last episode, we meditated. And we learned a whole bunch of new shouts.
Yep.
And we were given a whole bunch of, things that we can do to earn Kind's favor so that we can go back later and learn even more shouts through meditation. But for now...
Yeah, it looks like there's a whole ton. Like, wow, there must be like 50 shouts in that book.
Yeah, and that doesn't even cover all of them. Anyway, I guess we need to have a little bit of a sleep here. Because it is daytime and we're tired. And we can do a little level up too. What do we want to work on? Okay, this is what we need. Twin enchantment.
Nice.
So now we need to head back for the house in Whiterun so that we can
double up some of your enchantments.
double up some of our enchantments, yeah. Okay, well, anyway, if we're about ready to go.
This house, it's just perfect.
Is it?
Yep, this perfect graybeard hovel.
Yeah. Didn't I have Serana with me here too? Somewhere?
You did, but I have no idea where she ended up.
Oh boy, I'm gonna go look for her again. I actually did a little bit of experimenting and I figured out something to relieve that problem with Serana. If I can find her again.
For all you know, she might not have even come in here to this area.
Maybe not. But this way, at least we won't have to babysit.
Oh no! Remember, she was at the base of the mountain still.
Was she still at the base of the mountain?
Yeah, stuck on that one area.
Or was that the last time we were here?
No, I think that was this time too. I think that's where she is still. I remember now.
Okay, well there's Arngir, and we can contribute 1,000 gold to the monastery to suck up the Kind a little bit, and maybe get a little bit more shouting power. I thought that for sure that Serana
Nope.
came in up here.
I'm pretty sure she didn't.
Damn it. Well, if I can find her again.
She'll probably still be there at the base of the establishment.
I sure hope so.
Did I just call a mountain an establishment?
Yeah.
If you need me.
That's a more complicated word than mountain.
Yeah, it is. But anyway. Alright. Well, we may have to, if I can't find her, we may need to use the console command to
Summon her?
summon her.
I'm sure you'll find her.
I guess we'll have a stale blood potion here to tide us over. And yeah, hopefully she'll be just gotten hung up on that corner on the mountain again. Because sometimes pathing is bad in Bethesda games. So if we don't find her by the time we get to the bottom of the mountain, we'll have to do the console command thing again if we can remember what Serana's ID was.
Yeah, we can always look it up.
Because we had to do this once before, and I don't know whether I had the foresight to write that down the last time.
Well, that's what computers are for.
Yeah. Or that fancy phone that you got there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The most important part of the phone is that I have a command line terminal installed on it and a C compiler. Fuck this calling people thing. Or text messages, nobody needs that.
Yeah, it's not really a communication device so much as it's a computing device for you, right?
That's right. Hey, any good device is a computing device. Any bad device lacks that functionality.
Yes, and I'm going to need to double up some of my enchantments, particularly the ones that resist fire, frost, and shock. Because dragons are scary monsters in this game. And we're going to be meeting more of them shortly, just because they will start to spawn random attacks and that kind of thing now, too.
Yep.
And, you know, if suddenly 3 dragons spawn all at the same time, well, you want to be able to have some resistance to their attacks, or you will die fairly shortly.
Yeah, it's not fun even fighting multiple vanilla strength dragons at the same time on this difficulty level.
Yeah, well, they aren't vanilla strength either. I have them the level setting to expert, or you know, because there's a
yeah, for your deadly dragons.
For deadly dragons, yeah. The only setting higher than expert, I think, is insane or something like that. Let's see here. Dragons. Okay, so difficulty expert.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah, vanilla, expert, or insane. So I decided that insane was probably too hard. So I just set that at expert, which is actually makes dragons somewhat more challenging than normal anyway.
Although I do suppose you would have to be insane to try to slay a dragon one-on-one.
Well,
maybe the developers were trying to make a point.
This is uh-oh.
Everything in Skyrim wants to kick your ass.
Yep. Well, this is probably or vampire hunters again.
Where the fuck are they?
I don't know. They're fair ways up the mountain here.
Are they up the mountain? Or are they, like, off the mountain?
Oh.
Oop, no.
Well,
that's a crossbow
okay.
bolt.
Oh, that's okay. I got a little trick for you.
I don't know who this guy is coming up to you, if he has a melee weapon or something. Yeah, shout him off the mountain. Oh, you missed.
Ah, I missed.
Don't you hate that?
Yes, I hate it when I miss. That being said, I have pretty good resistance to fire right now. I think they are somewhat resistant to the shout as well, because they have wards, right?
Yeah, that might be it, yeah.
Okay, Lydia, you handle them then.
More problem solved.
Oh, I'm gonna try this out. Where are you? Oh.
He's walking down the mountain.
Come back here. Damn it. He went down the mountain and I wasted it.
Ah, well.
Oh, and then my poison killed him off. Right? Before I could feed on his still alive body, which I would get somewhat more benefit from.
Yeah, see, this fancy armor of yours, it's actually turned out to be more of a hindrance than a help.
Yeah, well, I think it might be time for a outfit change here before too long. Because while this outfit does have its advantages, when I get around to, you know, like redoing my enchantments and things too, I'll probably need to switch to something else again, right? Of course, one drawback to shouting those guys off the side of the mountain is I don't get to loot their bodies afterwards because I can't find their bodies.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I think that's Serana over there at the corner, right?
Wow, how did you see her from all the way back there? I didn't see her yet.
Yeah. Okay.
But I told you so.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, you.
Nothing like a goose?
Manage with AFT.
No,
Right.
you shouldn't have done that.
Yep. No, that works.
Oh, there you go.
See, it worked. See, now that I'm managing her with AFT, I can do this kind of thing too, right? I don't know if I favorited that or not. I don't think I did.
You should favorite it.
We'll head down here to tweak commands, right? And actions summon. There, now I can summon her that way.
And now
right?
nobody's going to get stuck on the stupid corner.
That's right. I didn't know that I could do that, but I was, you know, like had this little problem I've been having with her in the back of my mind. So I tried it out with another character that I've been playing the game with, right?
Okay.
Just as a test, so I wouldn't break anything here. And yeah, it seems to have had no
ill effect.
ill effects or anything like that. So
Ah, excellent. Nice to get back to civilization.
yeah,
Yep.
I think we cleared out this place already. Yeah, it says cleared, but
Yep.
we can.
You've been a good friend to me.
Okay.
That means something.
See if we can melt anything down here. Well, I could melt down those arrows because I got dwarven arrows. And we'll see if we can store a whole bunch of stuff here. Because all this stuff adds up after a while.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of it.
Yeah, I have a lot of it. Of 109 ancient Nord arrows. And since arrows have weight, that's actually like 10 arbitrary weight units worth
Pounds.
of arrows, just that one set. So I'm probably carrying like close to 20 of various different types of arrows.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, well, that might be useful later, but we'll put it in there for now. Yeah, see, I'll have to redo a whole bunch of my my pretty well everything, actually. I'll have to redo.
Because you can double up on all of it now.
Because I can double up on all the enchantments now, right?
But you'll also be better at enchanting shit now, too.
Yeah. Okay. Got anything here that I can drop off? I can drop that off. What? No.
Did you accidentally press the use thing?
No, well, maybe I might have been leaning on the trigger button a little bit. It's a bad habit, right? I rest my fingers on the trigger buttons, and if I turn the controller a little one way or the other, I can accidentally press them, right?
So you need to adopt a more agile controller holding stance.
Yeah.
Alright, as a competitive fighting game player, retired, I can teach you these things.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's pretty tough to teach an old dog new tricks.
Ah. Yeah, for those of you out there who are wondering what the hell I'm going on about, most people, for some reason, controllers around the time of the PlayStation 1 and I guess now the original Xbox and then now what we have now, they started having handles on them. And for some dumb reason, they decided to put handles on controllers, and then people started grabbing the handles of the controllers because it felt comfortable.
Because,
and that means,
well, that's because they're handles.
and that means that they can press buttons less effectively because now they're relying on the small muscles in their thumbs to press the buttons instead of using their forearms and the speed of their hands and their arms and everything else in general to press the buttons. So what I do is I actually grip the controller kind of at the between the base of my finger and the first knuckle, and I don't really hold on to the handle at all. I almost kind of keep my fingers sort of extended out, and I just am sort of pressing together with my hands to have the controller, and it kind of just rests on like my middle finger, like the back trigger of them. And then I have a very loose grip on the controller so that I can adjust the position on it a whole bunch. And if I need to press a button really fast, what I'll do is I'll make my thumb straight in line with my forearm, and then just move my forearm up and down on the controller, right? So I can get a button press that sounds kind of like that. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if that picks up on the mic.
I could hear it through my headset.
Right, but, you know, or if you need to do other complex inputs, like a bunch of fighting games have, like, slide inputs in them, you can, because you have such a loose grip on the controller, it's really easy to let go of the controller and say if I wanted to, on an Xbox controller, slide from X to Y, or a PlayStation controller slide from square to triangle, that's as simple as...
Yeah.
Right, and it's like an instantaneous kind of input, right?
I don't know.
So,
I could never use the old style PS1 controllers worth a damn either, though. Or
that's because they have handles.
Or the old
Super Nintendo style.
Super Nintendo controllers. It didn't make any difference for me.
All right. But yeah, you don't want to hold a controller tightly. You want to hold the controller almost as loose as possible so that you're almost dropping it, so you can bounce it in your hands. Because then you can manipulate the controller at different angles in order to give you leverage to press the buttons as fast as possible in whatever way you need to press the buttons at a given point in time. And then you also find too, if you're not like death gripping the handles of a controller, your fingers won't get tired. And if you're using the big muscles in your forearm and your shoulder to press buttons instead of using your thumb muscles to press buttons, then your hands won't get sore when you're playing games either. You can play games for like 12, 14 hours a day and never get tired.
I sometimes wonder if Ice Spike is the most effective attack to use against these things.
Well, that one was a glass golem, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Anyway, we're going to go this way on our way back to Whiterun, just to have a change in scenery.
Also, I think that, too, why after all these years of gaming and all the hours of gaming I've done, I have never gotten carpal tunnel syndrome. Right? I think it has to do with the way one holds a controller.
I've never gotten carpal tunnel syndrome either.
Yeah, but you lift weights and all sorts of shit like that. A lot of people don't.
Oh.
Although I guess I do, but,
How
you know.
sedentary do you have to be if you get carpal tunnel syndrome from playing a goddamn video game?
Actually,
like,
you know
really?
what? Sweater Vest Gamer had that problem a couple of years back.
Yeah, okay. I guess I have to admit, he once told me that he cannot even do one push-up, so...
So, you know.
And that's startling.
Well, a lot of people are like that these days.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have been like that for a long time, because when I was a teenager, I can remember seeing commercials on TV for a thing called Participaction.
Yep.
And that was our federal government trying to persuade people. It was kind of like the Do It for Denmark campaign for, you know, like the Danes.
Yeah, except
that
for
it was for fitness. And what they did was they showed a 30-year-old Canadian and a 60-year-old Swedish guy doing a marathon foot race. And the 30-year-old Canadian lasted less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
And the 60-year-old Swedish guy ran the marathon no problem, right?
Yep.
And the way they presented it was that he was supposed to be a typical specimen for his age in Sweden, right?
Yep.
At the time. So what they're trying to do, of course, is, you know, shame and embarrass Canadians into being more active and more fit.
Yep.
Because basically a senior citizen from another country is more active and more fit than you, right?
Yep.
You know, like that was kind of the message that was trying to be brought across. Although that being said, I guess, at least in my case, that was kind of successful because for me, I actually paid attention to that ad and you know, like, yeah, it was funny, but it was also seemed kind of tragic if it was true, right?
You were like, holy shit.
And yeah, I ended up becoming a bit of an exercise freak, and you know, like you mentioned before, lifting weights. I've been like a lifelong weight training enthusiast, right?
Yep. Well, for me, I mean, like I lift weights and things like that, but it was about 6 months ago, just to give you guys an idea. I started basically going for a run every day and riding on an exercise bike every day, right? And so when I first started, I could run on a treadmill for 5 minutes straight. And that's all the endurance I had. Even though I lifted weights and things like that, that's all the endurance I had, and then I'd have to stop and walk. Alright? That was 6 months ago. And I weighed... Well, I'm a small guy, but I weighed 165 pounds then, and, you know, I'm like 5'5". Alright? So then I started running every day, and then I started riding this bike every day. So I'd run for as long as I could until I ran out of breath, and then I'd go and get on this exercise bike and ride it for like 40 minutes. Right? So, after doing that for 6 months to today, I can run for 30 minutes straight. I can ride that exercise bike for about as long as I want. And I've lost 40 pounds in 6 months. So, it's
Yes.
not that hard to get fit, as long as you have the time to dedicate to it.
Yep.
That's the thing,
choice,
it's a
right?
time commitment, right?
Well, there's always going to be time, right? You know, like I said, I've been a lifelong enthusiast, but I spend about maybe 45 minutes to an hour every day
Yep.
doing something. I don't do the same thing every day, right? I alternate things that I do, so I sort of have a 3-day rotation, right? You know, so one day I'll do legs, and another day I'll do upper body, and then another day I'll rest my muscles and do some cardio, right?
Yep.
But you know, like you invest that time, and I mean that's time that you could have spent
Playing Skyrim.
well, or even just sitting in front of the TV with the channel clicker, just clicking through the channels because you can't find anything to watch for half an hour, right?
Yep.
Well, you could spend that half an hour of your life doing something more productive that's good for you.
Well, and I'll say this too is like, you know, like some days it really sucks. Some days you really don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
But I will say too that after these 6 months of getting into better shape, some of the things that I have, like I have some injuries that nag me from when I was younger, and the pain from those things has largely gone away now.
Yeah. Actually, that's the same with me with my shoulders, because I had pretty badly impinged rotator cuff tendons in both shoulders, right? And a couple of years ago, my doctor sent me to this place called the Wellness Center for a consultation
Yep.
with a kinesiologist. I think I said that right.
Kinesthesiologist or something
yeah.
like that.
Anyway, it's basically a guy who is
Does
knowledgeable.
kinesthetics.
He's knowledgeable in body motion and how the muscles and stuff in the body works. And that guy gave me a bunch of charts that taught me a whole bunch of you know, just lightweight dumbbell exercises. And you know, like we're talking sets of 10 and that kind of thing.
Yep.
You know, like lightweight stuff. You're not like doing power sets of 5 or 6 reps trying to build muscles. But I can't believe over the last couple of years how much that has helped.
Yeah, your shoulders feel a lot better now.
Oh yeah, quite a bit. Like I might even try playing golf again next year.
Nice.
And I had to basically give up the game because my shoulder pain was so bad I couldn't even swing a golf club.
Yeah,
right?
it was even getting to the point where you couldn't hardly lift your shoulders above your
Well,
head.
I couldn't even
your
put
hands above
my
your head.
I had trouble putting my jacket on because I couldn't bend my one arm far enough to get my, you know, like if I got one arm in one sleeve,
Yep.
I couldn't get the other arm in the other sleeve, right?
Yeah, like your shoulders were completely fucked.
Without help, right?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Who's there?
Oh, more werewolves.
And so, yeah, exercise can help you if you have long-term injuries like we do.
Yeah.
And you're especially a particular case of that, because you're a lot more injured and fucked up than I ever will be.
Yeah, well, I used to work in construction and in, you know, like aggregate mining and that kind of thing.
There's 4 of these fucking things.
Yeah, and that is, you know, like physically hard work, and it's also kind of dangerous at times. And I did get hurt at work several times, right?
Yeah.
Like over the course of my career. And one really bad time, I fell into a tank and landed on a pipe right in the middle of my back. And, you know, like damaged one of the discs in my spine, right?
Yep.
And
that was a bad one.
yeah, that was a bad one. I was laid up for about 3 weeks after that, like taking muscle relaxants and painkillers and stuff just so that I could even move. Wow. Okay.
Yo, that could have damn near crippled you.
Yeah, if I'd have landed like an inch further off to one side or to one side, it would have landed, probably would have fractured one of my vertebrae, right? But then again, though, being a lifelong weight training enthusiast, I also had a fairly thick layer of muscle on my back.
Yeah, and that protected
which
you.
probably helped to protect me from it, too. A certain amount. But it was still, I was pretty badly bruised and you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and you still got a bit of a nagging injury from that after all this time, too.
Yeah. That being said, though, it is somewhat relieved just by regular exercise and staying active.
Yep. Because if you can build up the muscle around that area, then your damaged spinal disc doesn't have to bear so much of the load, because your muscles will hold up your body.
Yep. Yeah, the worst thing that you can do if you suffer from that kind of thing, back pain, and there's like 2 more of them, is to not do anything, right?
Yeah, you gotta move to heal.
Yeah, and another thing, too, is that I went through 2 knee surgeries where I had both of my knees replaced. And one of the best things that I ever did after, you know, like my sessions in physical... There's another one! After my sessions in physical therapy, because one of the things that the physiotherapist had me doing was riding a stationary bike for several minutes every session.
Yep.
And also, she had a leg curl machine there, right?
Yep.
Where you could do leg curls or leg extensions. And, you know, I wasn't able to buy a machine because those things are, like, massively heavy and expensive and, you know, I don't have enough room for one. But I was able to buy a bench.
Yep, that had leg curl
and
stuff on it.
You know, I can't do them sitting up. Like, I can't do the leg curls sitting up. I have to be in a prone position the way that the bench is laid out. But I can still do leg curls. Mm-hmm. And I can still do leg extensions. And so, you know, those are exercises that my physiotherapist thought was very important.
Yeah, to build up the strength in those muscles around there.
To build up the strength in those muscles around there after, you know, like recovering from a major surgery, right? And so I just kept on doing those exercises, and to this day, even like almost 10 years after the operations, I'm still doing those exercises, and I think I've benefited a lot from doing them.
Yeah, well, it's made a huge difference in your ability to move around, too.
Yeah. And, of course, I do my squats and deadlifts, and, you know, I'm an old man, so I can't do, you know, like super heavy weights or anything like that, but I'm still doing pretty well.
Yeah, well, you said to me, though, that squats were never something you'd much focused on in your life, but you're probably doing the heaviest weight now that you've ever done.
Yeah, because I was a little bit lazy when I was younger, and I was more interested in the
upper body,
you know, beach muscles and that kind of thing, right? But, yeah, now I'm doing some fairly heavy weights for squats and deadlifts.
Well, this kind of reminds me of another story of weightlifting. I saw this one guy who was like a weightlifting coach on some YouTube channel, and there was this like 98-year-old lady, right, who couldn't walk, or 96-year-old lady who couldn't walk without a walker, right? And so this guy got her doing squats and deadlifts, and got her like doing like up to her body weight in squats, right, which is like a little over 100 pounds. And by the time she was able to do that, she was able to walk without the walker.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that too.
97-year-old lady walking around without a walker.
And not only that, but she was competing in national weightlifting competitions for her age group or something too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Yeah.
At the very least, she was able to walk around without a walker, and I think that was the part of that story that stuck with me. Right? They even showed some footage of this lady doing her squats, and it's like, wow, you know what? That's good stuff. So if you don't want to be old and crippled up and in a walker or wheelchair when you're older, try to do at least a little bit of weightlifting, right? At least be able to squat your own body weight and things like that. That'll help you stand up, help you move around.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing anywhere close to my own body weight, but...
Yeah, but you're a fucking big guy too because of all those other weights you lift. And I'm a shrimp because I'm like literally half the man you are at 5'5".
Yeah. Okay, so I came in here just to get that book, which it gives me the spell-like ability to summon vampire cattle.
Nice.
And what that does is once every 24 game hours, I can actually summon a feeding thrall to feed off of if I'm, like getting pretty hungry and there hasn't been any proper feeding opportunities around, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of a nice handy thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even sure what mod adds that book.
Speaking of which,
Could be Better Vampires, maybe.
probably up.
Speaking of which,
Yeah, speaking of which, you know what? I was average height at some point in history. Like the Middle Ages, people were 5'5", so
Yeah.
fuck it.
well, you know what though? At 5'9", I'm not exactly a tall guy either, right?
No, you're just a lot taller than me.
Yeah. But yeah, we were built considerably differently though, because you're kind of a slim fellow anyway, and I look kind of like this gorilla I saw in the zoo once, except that my arms are shorter and I'm not as hairy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you were telling me a story one time that you were trying to do a heavy bench press and you ended up bending one of your benches.
Yeah, actually, I have a flat bench now for that kind of thing.
Yep.
But I used to only have a cantilever bench, right?
Yep.
Which is, you adjust, you can adjust the back for different angles.
Yeah,
and
to
that
be
kind of
either
thing.
upright or flat.
But you can also use it as a flat bench, but it has a maximum weight rating on it. And I didn't realize that I was over the maximum weight rating. And so I picked my bar up off the cradle and did a couple of reps, and then I went to put the bar back on the cradle, and even with my arms fully extended, I couldn't push the bar up high enough to get it back on the cradle because my bench had bent.
Wow. Just crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though, right? I used to really focus on the bench press, the shoulder press, and all that kind of stuff, and I was a little lazy about the legs, right?
Yeah, but that should give people kind of an idea of how heavily built you are, and it's why you're so much bigger.
Well, at the time, I had 335 pounds on the bar.
Yep.
For that bench press.
And that was enough to bend that bench.
And that, along with my own body weight, I was something like 200 pounds over the rating for that bench, right?
Fuck. At least all it did was bend.
Yeah. Well, it's steel, right? So it's not going to go snap and break. It'll just, if you exceed its strength rating, then it'll deform, right?
Yep.
So I had to go out and buy a flat bench that had a higher,
I think
weight rating for doing bench presses.
I think even a cheap flat bench will have a higher weight rating than those cantilever benches.
Well, because
anyways.
a cantilever bench is a cantilever, it doesn't have any full support under the whole length of it, right? Yeah.
So probably best to have a flat bench if you're going to be doing those kinds of weights.
The cantilever bench is for mainly doing lighter exercises, or some people like to do incline bench presses and that kind of thing. Or like I use a adjustable cantilever bench to do some of the dumbbell exercises that I do, right?
Yeah, for your physiotherapy stuff.
Yeah, for my physiotherapy stuff. And no, I'm not doing 300-pound bench presses anymore. I haven't for a long time because I'm just too damn old now. Because I'm in my 60s, so I'm a little bit, I don't recover very quickly anymore, and
You can't push yourself as hard as you used to.
You can't push yourself as hard as you used to, because instead of making gains, you'll actually hurt yourself. So, I'm still trying to stay active, but I definitely can't do the things that I used to do when I was younger.
But you're a hell of a lot stronger than most people your age.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Most people my age, I guess, they have other hobbies. Like some people collect stamps or do basket weaving or flower arranging or something. I suppose.
All old people do basket weaving and flower arranging.
Or they play bocce ball or shuffleboard or something, right?
Or they're the Skyrim grandma.
Yeah, or they're the Skyrim grandma. Me, one of my hobbies, I lift weights. That's what I've been doing it since I was a teenager. So, like something like 45 years.
Yep.
That I've been doing that. And, if you put enough years in, you'll end up bulking up a considerable amount of mass, right? Because I was only about 135 pounds or so when I first started, when I was about 16.
Yep.
And, now I'm well over 100 pounds heavier than that.
Oh god, to give you guys an idea just how small I was when I was 16, I was like 95 pounds.
Yeah. But I was as tall then as I am now. Like I reached my full height by about 15 or 16 years old, and then I just stopped growing, right?
Yeah, I wasn't even at full height yet.
Then I just got heavier.
I was a shrimp for my entire childhood and teenage years. I was like a shrimp, okay?
Yeah. Okay, let's do this vampire cattle summoning thing here. So basically it's a power, and then you can feed on him, and if he sticks around long enough, you can actually extract a blood potion from him too.
Nice.
And then he collapses into a puddle of blood on the ground.
You just have to be careful about using that spell around a guard, I suppose.
Nope, they don't care.
No, they don't care? It doesn't count as assault?
No, because those things are not members of any particular faction.
Ah.
They're just a summon, right?
Right. So the guard looks at it and he goes, oh, that's fucked up. I don't know what the fuck that is, but there's no law in the books against that.
That's right. There's no law against doing that. They don't like it if you try and even draw blood from a dead body of a citizen or guard. They don't like that very much. But
he's like, you don't have your citizenship card. I don't care if he feeds on you.
Yeah.
Right, you're getting fed on by the vampire, and the guard walks up and he says to you, papers, please.
Yeah. I need to know whether I have to protect you or not. Anyway, we are nearly to Whiterun. There's Serana. Where's Lydia? Lydia. Where'd you go, Lydia?
You're gonna end up having to summon her.
Yes, probably.
I think you went and hotkeyed this now.
Yeah, I did. Try to keep up. Okay? Oh, yeah, we're coming up on Whiterun.
Oh, yeah! This is the episode!
Yeah. So, here is a whole bunch of the plants that but they're not...
fully mature.
They're fully matured yet.
These are your pot plants.
They're at varying different stages of maturity, right?
The Skyrim grow-op here. Or the Whiterun grow-op.
Yeah. Well, this is just some of them. This is only a few of them.
Oh, so this isn't even all of them.
I planted a lot of plants, okay? So these ones I just planted here in this field just because it was handy.
Yep. farmers growing more than just crops.
Yeah, well, that's a crop too. And that's my crop, though. The farmer's not growing that. I am.
Yeah, it's just shared land, right?
Yeah.
Collective farming.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm a celebrity. I'm the Dragonborn, so, nobody's got a problem with that.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you want to use some of my land to grow your pot? Sure, why not?
That's okay. Wait till you see what I got going on here. Once these plants start to mature, then we're going to experience some script lag, I think.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of them. I got a little carried away.
Well, I haven't seen this yet.
If you need me, Thane.
Because we haven't been back here off camera or anything.
No. This is the first time we've been back to Whiterun in a while. Actually, look at that. All the regular flowers grew back, too. Anyway, there's a plant there. And there's another one there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even remember where I planted all of them now. Okay, here's a bunch over here.
Just out back.
Yep. Right. Where else did I put some? I think I was just kind of
Going around putting down pot plants?
going around putting down the seeds. Oh, sun just came out.
Pot plants for everybody in Whiterun.
Yeah.
It's the municipal hobby.
Oh yeah, I planted a few out here too.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Heard. There's been another dragon attack.
See, going around the
You're just
circle.
complimenting
going
nature.
around the circle there, right?
Complimenting nature.
Yeah. And we'll head up this way. Wow, I've been gone so long, even this root grew back too.
Wow.
Okay. So here we go.
Are you serious? Oh my god, that's a lot of pot plants. Oh my god, it's a fucking garden of pot plants.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If you're gonna do something, you might as well do it right.
Yeah, you turned the Jarl's courtyard into your personal grow-op.
Yeah, but that's okay. He won't mind if I smoke.
Yeah, you saved his city from the dragon.
If I smoke him up once in a while, he won't mind.
Oh fuck. Wow.
Yeah, these are all like the potting soil that you can buy at Your Highness.
Oh yeah.
And then these are just the seeds that I harvested off of when I was stealing all the buds off of the existing plants out there, right?
Wow.
Anyway, couple of things to show off inside here, too.
Oh really?
Yes, because I added on to my Skyrim as my player home mod.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the glaring things that I had neglected to do was to put...
Oh, I see we have lots of plants in here, too. God. That's a lot of pot plants, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you've got them even right up by the throne. The Jarl can pick some and have a smoke if he wants.
Yep.
What business do college mages have in a place like Sarthal anyway? It's a place for not dead.
So, there we go.
They'll have to change the name of the place to Stoner Run.
Another wanderer. You're
Or
looking
Bud
for
Run.
his boots.
Yeah.
Good job.
So anyway, it's very decorative, like it looks nice. Once all these plants are fully mature.
Well, it'll certainly add some greenery to the place.
If
Yeah.
you cross the river to the east.
Anyway, I made use of this empty space out here because the guy who made the Dragon Bum mod basically took over that side.
Yep.
So to avoid any possible mod conflicts, I just used this side.
Oh, okay.
So I put in a cloud storage chest here, and I just did this like not long after the last episode.
Yeah, because this wasn't here before.
That's right. I just put this in very recently, like about a week ago maybe. Not quite, because I think it was about a week ago that we did the last episode here, right?
Yeah, about that, yep.
Yeah. And I put in this bed, which gives you, it doesn't give you the well-rested bonus, but it gives you the rested bonus. And I'm not sure, I'd have to figure out how to tinker with the ownership of it or something in order to get it to give you the well-rested bonus. But anyway, it's pretty simple, pretty basic, but it does give you access to the cloud storage chests, you know, when you're a beginning level character before you've gotten far enough in the game and accumulated enough money to buy the house.
Yep.
Right?
And I mean, that can take forever, especially if you're somebody like me who spends all their money on training.
It depends on how you play, right? So this basically, if you don't, even if you don't have the Dragon Bum mod and all that kind of stuff, if you have Mine mod, it gives you a nice basic place to sleep with cloud storage access, right? And then, of course, downstairs you have access to, you know, Farengar's, you know, enchanting and alchemy tables and all that kind of stuff.
See, I bet you Farengar's a man of culture, too. He also goes out and picks some bud now and then from the common area.
Well, you know what? It's there, so why not? Wow, am I carrying that much? Wow. Okay.
You
Maybe
need to do some alchemy.
Yeah, I need to do some alchemy, but I'm going to go and drop all this crap off for now. I thought I'd dropped a bunch of stuff off in the last time we hit a cloud storage chest, but...
Yeah, oddly enough, you actually rather abstained from flower picking this episode so far.
Well,
and you still have all this crap.
I didn't re-pick the flowers in Whiterun, although I did stop and pick a fair amount of flowers. Oops, there was something there that I...
think you needed?
Yeah, well, no. I need to taste this one. There, that one. And that one.
Don't forget, you also need to taste Jarren root.
No, you don't taste Jarren root. You just don't do that. It's not done.
But how will you learn the effects for it?
I'm pretty sure that you can't actually get enough hit points to survive tasting
Jarren root poison,
because it is extremely poisonous. Okay, well, we'll taste some of this stuff first, and then we'll... Okay, so... What do we got here? We got that, that, and that. That.
See, do you know how you can tell that your child is going to be an alchemist in the Elder Scrolls world?
They put everything in their mouths?
Yeah, they're the type of kid who puts everything in their mouth.
Yeah. I don't know, that still brings to mind that scene from the Senile Scribbles where the alchemist is going to take a big bite out of the giant's toe, and the Dragonborn guy's going, "Oh no, don't do that."
Yep.
That was actually one of the funniest
animation series.
You know, yeah, well, that particular scene was one of the funniest scenes in that series too. But I know it made me, a couple of times, it made me laugh pretty hard. Okay, so we'll go back to the house, and then we'll see what we can accomplish here. Maybe I can get my hands on enough ebony ingots to make a new armor suit.
You figure you're going to make some ebony armor?
Well, we're going to see what we've got in here first. I don't have the skills to make ebony armor, but there are other sets of armor that I can make.
You're back.
See that, Lucia Dovakir?
I hope you like it.
Yep.
What did she give me?
She gave you...
Trauma root. Where did you get that? Because that's from Solstheim, right? Like, where did you get that? Okay, well...
I think your children get into all kinds of trouble while you're not here.
Yeah.
But then again, I suppose they wouldn't be children of the Dragonborn if they didn't.
If you need me, Thane.
Yep. Well, what do you think? Should we pause while we do some boring bookkeeping stuff?
Yes, you need to do some alchemy.
Okay, we'll pause while we do some boring bookkeeping stuff.
And we're back.
Yes, after much crafting and potion making and so on.
Yeah, that was about a 45-minute pause.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, and
Anyway.
we've got a freeze here for a second, so just hold on here while we deal with this freeze, folks.
Oh.
It's okay.
There.
That's just going to cause a stutter in the video. There's nothing that can be done about it.
Yeah, that's just the recording software acting up.
Need something?
Anyway, we have a new set of armor. We have chainmail armor.
Need something?
Nice.
So anyway, this is the ancient Draugr armor. Remember how I had that ancient Draugr underwear thing that in order to avoid any rock climbing accidents and such? Well, this is the rest of the armor that goes with that.
Nice.
And so I've redone all my enchantments and everything so that I've got double enchantments on everything. So I've got, you know, a fair amount of resistances and also something to help replace that Magicka regeneration ability that I'm going to lose from not wearing the outfit, which I gave to Serana, actually.
Need something?
So anyway, we're going to have to go and unload some of this crap now. We're to sell it to the merchants and stuff. But before we do, we're going to make some Jaren root. Okay? Now, in order to make Jaren root, you need a Canis root, 20 nightshades, 20 death bells, 20 frostbite venoms. And you also need to have the poisoner's perk.
Okay.
In the alchemy tree. Okay? So there. Now, we actually have some Jaren root.
But you don't know what its alchemical effects are.
Its alchemical effects are instant death poison, okay?
You'd better give it a taste.
No. Not going to do that. If we have something else here, like this nightshade, that causes poison damage, however, we can take one of those, and then we can rush on up here to the alchemy station. And I do have a necklace to improve alchemy, but I'm not even going to worry about that for now because the amount of damage that this causes is absolutely ridiculous, okay? Unknown effect.
I saw damage health 2,600 and something points.
Okay.
In there.
So, anyway, we'll have a look at this wonderful poison now. And it is a poison of damage health that damages the target's health by 2,161 points.
Damn.
So it seems a little redundant to put on a necklace that might increase that by 25% or whatever, right?
Yep.
Because that's enough to kill just about anything in the game with a single shot anyway.
Yeah, as long as it's not immune to poison.
But that's why I made the recipe to create Jaren root a fairly difficult one, because it takes, you know, it's pretty tough to accumulate
to get all those ingredients.
All those ingredients in that number, right? Oh yes, and we also gave Serana our hand-me-down outfit, including the sunglasses, so that maybe she won't complain so much about how bright it is out there.
But it's so bright out there.
Yeah.
No, she'll still complain. But
she'll be well armored, and she'll have some nice magical buffs and that kind of thing too to help her out. Because fairly shortly here we're going to dismiss Lydia, and then we're going to continue on with Serana's quest line. Although I don't know, maybe we could keep Lydia with us in order to do that as well.
It's so bright out here.
Just for a little bit of extra muscle, right? But anyway, I'm very, very tall again, because of course this outfit has those extremely high platform shoes and that kind of thing.
Yep.
So we're just going to run in here now and see about you know, selling off as much stuff as we can here.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll
And then I guess we'll drop the rest into the chest for storage purposes.
Away. What do you need, my friend? As long as you
Okay, well, did I not even done that yet? Wow. Okay. What do you got for sale?
So just a piece of trivia, looking up Jaren root on the wiki.
Yeah.
If you eat Jaren root, you will receive 100 to 600 points of poison damage depending on the game's difficulty setting.
Uh-huh. Okay, so it is survivable, but you need to be
Extremely high level.
extremely high level. So what is the top damage possible?
600 base.
Okay, so I don't have enough health to survive tasting Jaren root yet. Then.
That's right.
And I won't for quite a very long time.
Not only that, but I guess it's quite achievable to make a poison that has 3,000 damage, and I guess it's also very achievable to make a poison that does 6,000 damage.
Wow.
With fortified alchemy equipment.
Yeah. And that's with using Jaren root or what?
Yeah, that's using Jaren root.
Yeah.
Just about everybody in here.
But just the same, though, I can't even begin to imagine what you would need
Everything.
to kill with a poison that strong, you know? It just seems to me like after a couple thousand hit points worth, it's pretty much redundant, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Because I don't think there's too many things out there that have more health than that. Like, how much health does the Ebony Warrior have? He's probably one of the tankiest enemies in the game, right?
Yeah, probably. And I really couldn't say. I know he's level 80. Take a look here.
Okay, well, I've sold off all the potions that I can sell. We'll go up and see Farengar, and we'll see about selling some of these robes and things that we've been collecting.
The Ebony Warrior has 2,000 health. 2,071 health.
Okay, so this poison that I made
Could kill him.
could kill him. And I didn't even have any, alchemy buffing, jewelry or equipment. And I also, like, with the Ordinator perk, you can modify one alchemy workbench in the world.
Red guards are, I can't remember. I think they're resistant to poison, aren't they?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember now.
Yeah, so you might not be able to kill him because he might be resistant to poison. I think they're resistant to poison.
Oh.
In the sea.
Yeah, but don't they take some damage
Yeah,
still?
he'd still get hurt by it. They're not immune to poison.
So we'll sell that. You know what? We're going to sell all this silly things too. Whoops. I don't have enough. Okay. So we've sold off all the stuff that we can sell. Except, of course, that we can, like summon the Astral Merchant. Right? And he'll have a little bit of gold to spend as well. And we can try and see if he's got any. No. Okay, that's it. So I guess we'll go back to the house now. Or actually, we could just go up here and drop off our excess crap. And then we can be on our way. Oh yeah, I gotta cut a couple more pieces of firewood too, because I had to use a couple of pieces of firewood to make my platform boots.
Well, thankfully there are many places you can cut firewood in the city here. Do you have an axe?
Yeah, I just have to make sure I have it in my inventory here. And if I don't, I can make one easily. Actually, you know what? I can just grab one at the wood chopping pile. There's always one there. Okay, so good there. Got a couple of things to drop off under here. Okay, maybe we'll stop there.
Oh my god, all the potions.
Yeah, I know. Well, when I finally burned up all those alchemy ingredients, I already dropped a ton of potions off in the house, right? Like, it's crazy. I'm almost down to a normal, workable level of encumbrance, though, so I think that's just about it. We can get by with this. We just need a couple more pieces of firewood now. That's okay, we gotta head back down that way because we need to stop at the guardhouse and have a bite to eat, too.
Indeed.
And maybe the next time we come back, we'll actually have some mature plants here.
There
Gotta
you go.
admit, it kind of decorates the place up a
Yeah,
little
well,
bit.
in a way, it's almost like walking into the Gardens of Babylon. If the Gardens of Babylon were filled with pot.
I don't know what the Gardens of Babylon are or what they look like, but
Or I guess they're not the Gardens of Babylon. I'm thinking of the Hanging Gardens. Hanging Gardens? Oh, I don't fucking remember. I can't even remember this shit properly anymore. I think it was the Gardens of Babylon. Let me look that up now.
All I can think about is my son, my soul. They say that he was killed.
well, see, that's why Whiterun remains neutral in the
Yeah, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
That's what that looked like.
Wow.
Yeah, so, or so they say. So
Or
there
so
you
they
go.
say, according to that picture, anyway.
According to that picture with the Tower of Babel in the background, right?
Yeah, because how long ago was Babylon a thing? Like 8 or 10,000 years ago or
Fucking
something?
ancient. Enough so that there's a myth around it.
Wow, we're gonna have to feed on 2 guards here. We left our hunger long enough. There. I guess we're probably going to have to stop in at the house and get some sleep too.
Yep.
Because by the looks of it now, we're tired too. Even though it's now, I stayed up all day, like doing the crafting thing. That's what happened.
Yeah, that took a long time. That was a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah, it took a long time to finish doing all of that stuff.
See, if you stay up all day working, you get tired in Skyrim too.
Oh, look, I got some plants here too.
You didn't even know they were here.
No, I'd completely forgotten. There's that axe. Okay.
Oh, you can just get it by attacking. You don't have to get into the canned animation.
Yeah, I've got a mod where I can chop firewood just by hitting the there. See, I've got 3 firewood. It gives me a little bit more control.
Yeah, because maybe you don't want the...
Because I don't necessarily
6 pieces.
want 6 pieces of firewood. I only need 3 in order to be able to put up my camp, right?
Yeah, and then you end up dropping firewood in the middle of town.
Yeah.
And then the guard gets pissed off at you.
Yeah.
And then he comes over and he says, pick that up.
Yeah.
And then you say no. And then he says, fine, then you're under arrest. And then I say, no, I'm not. And I draw my 2-handed sword and run him through. And then every fucking guard comes to me and I have to run them all through.
That seems like a lot of work over a couple pieces of firewood.
I'm not going to be told what to do. Fuck him.
Yeah. Okay, well, anyway. Gonna go and have a sleep now.
And yes, for the record, I have done that before. And over less.
Mm-hmm. Yes, even your Skyrim character is disagreeable.
That's right.
Okay, well, we're just gonna sleep. We're gonna take a little nap here so that we can do some traveling. There. That's better.
Oh, man. And then sometimes you drop shit on the ground and people go like, I think you dropped this. And they give it back to you. It's like,
Yep.
I don't want this big, giant, heavy piece of iron armor.
Yeah. No, that was just like I think I told this story once, but I don't know whether it was even in the Skyrim series. It was maybe before that. But I was playing Whiterun many years ago, and I had a mod, like the first Vampire Overhaul mod that I had was called Balua Sanguinaire Revisited.
Yep.
And it had a lot of the same features that Better Vampires has, but it was a little bit clunkier. Like it didn't have an MCM, set of options for customizing it. You had to actually use console commands.
Yep.
But they did give you a PDF manual that had all the console commands listed that you needed in order to be able to customize the mod, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, one of the features, though, was that I really miss, actually, and no one else has ever implemented it, is one of them is that you can't approach within a fairly short distance, like, say, about from here to where that shack is, away from a shrine of one of the 9 divines.
Or else you start to take health damage.
Well, you start taking health damage, but not only that, but you get, like, a blinding, glaring light, you know?
Yep.
Like, it actually literally physically repels you because it blinds you and leeches your health at a fairly rapid rate too.
Yeah, and the
right?
closer you get, the more health it leeches.
Yeah, and the closer you get, the more intense the effect becomes. And another one is garlic is a poison to vampires.
Yep.
Right. And so what happened was that I was looting this guy who had gotten killed in a vampire attack in the middle of the street. And of course, because garlic is a thing, part of that mod is that random NPCs carry garlic.
Yep.
And you can't actually sneak up on and feed on NPCs that have some garlic in their pocket, right? Like they're immune to sneak feeding and that
Yep.
kind of thing. And so what happened was that I was looting this guy's body and I accidentally picked up the garlic and I got the message that said, the garlic in your possession is hurting you, and I started to lose health, right?
Yep.
So I dropped it because it was like causing me to lose health at a very rapid rate, like it nearly killed me. And then this passerby comes along and says, "Oh, I think you dropped this here," and that ended up back in my inventory again, right? Just from some helpful citizen noticing that I dropped that piece of garlic on the ground, right?
Fuck.
But here it doesn't matter. You can, you can handle garlic and you don't suffer any ill effects at all and that
Yep.
kind of thing. But I thought that one, though, it was interesting too, is that there are some, like oh shit, see this? This
Yep.
is what I was talking about. I might even run into Fort Greymore and take my chances there, just to
Avoid the dragon attack here?
well, not necessarily avoid the dragon
But
attack,
to find cover.
but to find cover. Now, where I've got, this one is also a pretty handy one to have. And I think we'll ready that. And we'll ready this. Because at least in the fort here, I can, at least be partially covered.
Yeah, depending on where the dragon is.
Like I'm not going to take direct hits from all of the dragons in the world, right?
Is there a tower covering in here too?
I don't know.
Oh, it looks like you'll have to deal with the bandits first, though.
Oh yeah, probably, but... Whoa.
Shock dragon.
Yeah.
Whoa, there's a couple of dragons here.
Yeah, I don't really see any...
Go up top here?
Unless there's a tower up higher. Up here,
So,
maybe?
over here. And then turn left.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. We can take cover in here.
And now you just need to slay the bandits.
Yeah.
Hope you brought your favorite melee weapon around. Although a lot of them were shooting arrows at you here.
Yeah, they weren't really able to hit me, though, because I'm ethereal and immune. So I think I'm going to keep my spell ready, because I imagine these dragons will probably make fairly short work of these bandits, too, right?
I can already hear the clang of arrows hitting over here.
Yep. Oh, here comes a bandit.
Combatant number 1.
Yep. See, this Heartbreaker, normally it would allow you to grab your enemy once you put them in this bleed out position.
Yep.
And tear their heart out, but because the force feed on a bleeding out enemy from better vampires does the same thing.
They override each other?
Well, sometimes, not always, but that's okay. It's still an instant kill is an instant kill,
Yeah.
regardless. So I'm kind of okay with that. But now I have to wait for it to recharge because it's not just a, like use every time at will kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Although you can set it up to be that way if you want, where it doesn't have a recharge time.
But that would be kind of broken.
Yeah, well, basically it would allow you to one-shot any human enemy in the game, right? Possibly including, even the Ebony Warrior or something like that, right?
Yeah, probably.
Although I've never actually tried it on the Ebony Warrior before. That actually the heartbreaking thing, it actually works pretty well for a werewolf character. And I've got it set up so that like you can only actually do that move if you are either a werewolf or a vampire in human form, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to be extremely physically strong to basically dismember a human body with your bare hands, right?
Yeah, normal people can't stick their hands through people's chests.
Yeah.
Ribs are very tough.
Well, just the person's tissues are very tough too, right?
Yeah, you can't stick your hand through a stake.
Well, there's still a few extra dots out there. I'm not sure from what. So I peek out here and see what's going on.
There, now I just have this image in my head of this guy. He's got this stake tied up on the stand, and he's spearhanding the stake.
Actually, you know what? Some serious karate practitioners will do stuff like that, right? Like they'll have a log set up across a couple of stands.
Yep.
And they'll do knife hand strikes on that log over and over and over. Or they'll get pails full of either dry rice or sand.
Yep.
And they'll stab their hands into them fingertips first. Because that's another bare-handed strike, right? Like a spear hand.
Yep.
And in order to train their fingers so that they can, make that kind of a strike against...
And hit somebody like that without breaking their fingers.
Without actually damaging their hands. Well, they do extensive training for that. And actually, the guy who was the teacher or of the club that I went to when I was young, he used a hammer fist for strikes like that. And he could break cinder blocks with his fists.
Yep.
Right? Like I saw him do it.
Well, I'm sure glad you weren't in the radius of that.
Yeah. Well, that's a bad news kind of a thing, right? Which is why I'm cowering inside the tower here. because I'm not nearly powerful enough to, you know, like stand up to that kind of punishment just yet. Which is why you have to do tactically sound things like hide. It may not be very brave, but what can you do?
You do what you have to do.
There, that one will be able to take a little punishment too. And you know what? That wraith with the magical attacks that it has will whittle these guys down eventually too, right?
Over time, yes.
And that one was pretty well instantly killed, but then the next one I summoned
Will have as much health as that
will
dragon
have as
did.
much health as that dragon did.
Well, how many fucking dragons are out there? 3?
No, I think there's 2. There's that fire... Well, maybe there is 3. Right? Did you see 3 red dots flying around?
Mm-hmm. I counted 3 red dots. That would explain the frequency, the high frequency of the fire breath. Because it just seems like that fire breath is coming out at an alarming rate.
Yep.
You literally wouldn't survive if you didn't have this tower. Yeah, 3 red dots.
Yeah, I imagine that Lydia and Serana are probably pretty much bled out by now, too.
Yeah, they're probably both knocked out of the fight. The only thing you can do is sit in here and do your summon.
Wow. See that? That one, the wing clipped through the wall?
Yep. Sometimes they can clip their head through the wall, too. That can hurt.
Not sure if I could shoot him through the doorway like that.
No, I think you'd hit the top of the archway because Bethesda physics.
Yeah.
Maybe if he was at a different angle, though. Like a more clear angle, but then again, if he was at a different angle, he might have been able to shout at you.
He'd be able to shoot his fire in here, yeah.
That's right.
Well, I don't think there's any bandits left anyway.
No, I think that they are pretty much toast. I don't think anybody would be expected to survive this. Good thing fire can't burn rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, lightning can't burn rocks, too. You've got a lightning dragon out there and 2 fire breath ones, I think.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you end up with a triple dragon spawn?
Well, because I've got it set so that you could get anywhere from 1 to 3 dragons.
Ah.
And I guess 3 just happened to be the number that came up this time around.
Well, there's a generic one out there called Dragon, and he's almost dead. He looks like he's the weaker of the bunch.
Yeah.
So he'll probably go down soon.
Yeah, and one of them is an elder dragon, and those ones are extremely powerful, right? That one that's been weakened the most, he might have already landed too. Like he might be on the ground now. Yeah, it sounds like he is. Because he just did a bite attack against somebody.
Yeah, probably Lydia and Serana are killing him.
Yeah. Yeah, because his health suddenly just went down a whole bunch.
And I mean, you know what? Your companions might be strong enough to stand out there and take on a dragon, but you're not.
Oh, well,
not on this difficulty. And he's dead.
Yeah.
I heard him die.
I think 2 of them are now.
Nope.
Oh no, okay, there's still 1 left. Two left.
One of them might be down now, though. Because there's a dot over there that's not moving. Or no,
Yeah.
it did eventually move, so he must have stood up again.
Yeah, well, sometimes they will land, but then they'll take off again. But we'll keep working them until you know, we'll get our way out of this eventually.
At some point.
At some point. And at some point, I'll pass that tipping point where I don't have to do this anymore. But that's a little ways away yet. Well, he's not down in the courtyard. Maybe that was the lightning dragon that got killed, hey?
You think the weaker one was the lightning one?
Well, I don't hear any lightning going on now.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fire now.
Lots and lots of fire, right? I knew I heard something, Serana says.
Yeah, okay. You'd have to be fucking deaf, okay, Serana? I'm not even that deaf.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, that sounds like one of them landed again. Oop.
Yeah, once you don't have one circling around, then we could finally actually get out of here and get into the action a little more.
Well, if I'm not outnumbered, that would also help. Be good too, right? But being outnumbered is bad because you could be face on to one of them and blocking, you know, their attacks with your ward or whatever.
And then the other comes up
and then the other one comes up and gets you from the behind.
Yeah, and then you're dead.
But I think one now has been injured to the point where it's landed and it's going to stay on the ground now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, you see that? I've got just for okay, fire resistance of 20 there.
And 50 there,
50
so
there,
80.
so that's 70.
70. Yeah.
Okay. So I've got basically 70 fire resistance.
Yep.
Right? And that's how much damage that I took there. But I basically gave myself the best resistances that I could.
At this time.
At this time. Because I don't have good enough
enchanting to go higher.
Enchanting skill to go higher than that yet. But even with 100 enchanting and all of the buffs that you can get, it's still you know, when you're up against powerful dragons like this, you still take quite a bit of damage.
Yep.
And that's from playing, like, from experience playing other characters. So you don't want to take a direct hit from one of these guys without being able to at least block it.
Sounds like an elder dragon has been grounded now.
Yep, he's just about done. They start to, like, really breathe fire a lot.
When they're down, yeah.
When they're almost dead. Like, they do it almost constantly, right? There, that's that one. Now there's one left.
No, I think that was the one.
Was that
the other one got killed while you were busy getting fire breathed on you.
Oh.
So there's 3 dragon corpses out there on top of each other.
3 dragon corpses down there. Okay. What did this one have on him? He had...
The usual. Yeah, that was a sound tactical decision heading for the fort here, because you would have for sure died.
Oh yeah. I have no doubt of that. Especially if two of them were fire breathers as well. You know, like that would have been really, really bad news. Now I'm going to have to pawn some of my stuff off here.
Yeah, you need to find someone to pack mule for you.
Well, that's why we brought Lydia along.
If you want sin, it would be my pleasure.
Yeah, well, maybe later.
As
Right
you
now we
command, my Thane.
need to...
It would be my pleasure.
We need to arrange for you to carry stuff. Maybe a whole bunch of those and a whole bunch of those. Okay, that's not bad. Dragon bones and dragon scales.
Going then.
And now would be a time to save after all that.
Yep, I think so. How are we doing for time anyway?
We are at 1:26.
Okay, well maybe now is the time to stop, and maybe we'll poke our noses in here just for the fun of it. Because this is just one of those, you know, occupied forts.
Yeah, well, this area is already half cleared of bandits. You might as well finish the job.
We've already killed half the bandits in the place anyway. We might as well finish it off.
Yeah, you could loot some of those bandits that are out here in the meantime.
Yeah, if we can find them. But anyway, we can probably do that next time. So we better get going.
All right.
So until next time,
I'm Rec B5.
and I am Sandman99.
Have a good one.